Good day, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to do mail merge. Let's assume you're working for a cruise ship company and you need to send a letter to every passenger on the upcoming cruise telling them whatever information is needed. And you don't want to type the same letter 2,000 times, one for each passenger. What we're going to do is type the letter once, and then using our database that already exists with all the customer's name, address, and information, we're then going to merge the database information in with the basic letter, and instantly we get 2,000 letters, each one looking like it was typed out to them personally. And then we throw them in the mail. So let's begin the process. To start, we click on the Start button, go to Word, and when it comes up, we go to Mailings, Start Mail Merge Wizard, step by step. And a panel appears on the right. This takes you through step by step. It's really quite easy if you follow it, just like this video shows. All right, ask what type of document do you want? Do you want a letter? Yes, we do. And so then it says at the bottom, okay, start your document. So click Start. And now the next step says, how do you want your letter set up? Do you want to use the current document? Well, if you already have an existing document, you could open it up. But in this case, I'm going to have you type out the letter yourself. And so we'll continue on from here. Now it says select the recipients. Well, who's going to get the letter? Well, all the customers on the cruise ship. So click select the recipients, and those recipients are in an existing list, which is a database, an already existing database. So we'll click on the browse button to find that database. Click browse. Now you will be given the database in your assignment. Mine happens to be saved on my desktop in a file folder called Files, and we use Cruise Ship Database. That's it, Cruise Ship Database, so I'm going to open that up. Now in yours, you'll get your database right from the directions for assignment number 8. Okay, and so it brings up this first panel, and just accept it. It is what we want, so click OK. The next thing, it shows you samples of the information in the database. That's fine. We're going to accept that. Click OK. And now it says here, we're going to use an existing list. Let's see. OK. Now it says write your letter. So let's go to step 3 and click write your letter. Now, at this point, you would write your letter. Now, the letter is given to you in the directions. You'll simply type it out yourself. But to save time, I've simply already written this letter. Let me go to the Home tab here and click Paste. I've already typed out the letter, so it keeps it quicker for our demo. Okay, so there's what you were asked to type. Now there is one thing that I didn't put in because I want to show you how to do it. We want to put in a company logo in the upper left-hand corner of this letter. To do that, we'll click on the Insert tab and we'll choose Clip Art. And we're going to search for a boat. Actually, I'd like to search for a ship, but my clip art doesn't have any ships. It just has a boat. So type boat in your search box, and I found this one here, and I'm going to double click, and it appears over on the right, on the left. So close out of the clip art box. Now, this does not look good. It's too big, and it gets in the way of the print and moves the print around. So what you need to do is to double click on the picture and make sure the Format tab is up, and we're going to first of all go over to Wrap Text. Click on Wrap Text and then choose In Front of Text. In Front of Text. When you do that, it allows you to move it anywhere you want. If you don't click on In Front of Text, you won't be able to move it. Okay, so I want it small, so it is movable. So let's click on the any one of the corners and shrink it down so it's an appropriate size. It's just a logo. I get students getting in work with this little thing like this in the middle of the letter. That's way, way too big. No, no, no. We want it to be just like a little logo in a business. That's all. Something simple. Okay, now we're ready to continue. So you can see we have the letter already typed. The only thing missing is the information that's different for each customer. So let's fix that up. Put your cursor above the word Dear and press the Enter key a couple of times. Now come over to the right-hand panel where it says More Items. Click on More Items, and the first thing I want in that position on my letter is the customer's name. So I click Insert and close this. That's the code for the computer to insert the name. Press Enter. Then I go over to More Items. On the next line of the address, I want the street, so I click on Street, Insert, close, press the enter key. Now this one here, I want more items and I want the city. Insert, close. Now at this point, I want to insert a comma and then a space. Then I want to go to more items and I pick the state. Insert, close. If I had a zip code, I'd go back to more items and choose zip code. But in this case, I don't. But what's essential is this, and I will look for this. I will take off a lot of points if you don't have a comma and a space between city and state. The reason for that is not that I'm being petty. It's that you're doing a mailing of, in a real company, 2,000, 10,000 letters. And if you don't have a comma and a space between the state, they get run together when the documents are printed out, and these labels are used to, will appear in the envelope on the window. In any case, the post office cannot mail these documents and process them automatically if it can't distinguish what the city and state is. You must have a comma and a space, otherwise they can't process it automatically. And they will not allow you to come in and drop 10,000 letters on the desk and say, hey, sort them manually all over the country. It's got to be sorted automatically, and it can't be done without the comma and a space. There's a lot of points taken off if you do that. So be careful, watch out. Okay, press enter now. And let me go back to normal size so you can see what we're doing. Okay, at this point, click where you have a click between the R and the colon on Dear. I'll show you that up closer. Put your cursor between the R and the colon, and we want to, I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to click more items, and I want the person's name there. Click insert and close. Now listen, if I click merge right now, you see where I have Dear and the marker for the code for the name. There's no space between the R and the code. If I just click merge now, it's going to be run together. It will say DEARJOHN. Without a space in between. So you've got to put the space yourself before you insert the code. Don't forget that, otherwise it'll get run together. All right, now let's go through and insert the rest of the codes that make the letter make sense. I can make this a little bit bigger, I think, here. Okay, now it says, we need to inform you the request for cabin number. Now, cabin number, we want to insert where it says cabin number. We want to insert the number of the cabin in that spot. So put your cursor after the R and go more items and choose cabin. That's the number they're going to be in. Click insert and close. Now, once again, notice that I have a space before the code and I need a space after the code. I take off points if you run it together. The letters aren't worth anything with errors like that. So be careful. So cabin, space before the code, space after the code. All right, let's go back to regular size here. And let's see, it says here, your cabin number has been approved. If you have any questions concerning your reservation, please contact customer service representative and tell them you have a problem with reservation number. Now again, I'm going to make that a bit bigger. And I put the cursor between the period and the pound sign, and I go more items, and I want to put the reservation number in there, so I click insert and I click close. So once again, notice I'm going to put a space in between there with reservation, space, and then it's okay to have the period up against the code because there's no space after the reservation, but a period is what goes there. So that's right. So now what you want to do is you want to look over your letter pretty well and make sure it reads properly. Everything looks okay. Let me go back to here a little bit. 100%. Okay. Now on this one here, everything looks okay. After the date, I've pressed the enter key about 4 times. That's what you have to have there. Double space between the address block and the salutation of dear so-and-so. I've got a double space between dear, double space between dear and the name. I've got a double space here between each paragraph, a double space after this paragraph. Now after sincerely yours, you should have pressed the enter key 4 times. Make sure it looks the way it's supposed to. This looks to me the way it should. So I'm going to go to step 4 and click preview your letter. and it shows me what the first letter will look like. Notice it automatically entered the first person's name and address. It entered their cabin number and their reservation number and so forth. So that's really good. So I'm all set. All I have to do now is click the button that says Next. Complete the merge. Now listen, this is essential. Step 5 of 6 says Complete the merge. So I'll click on Complete the merge. But it doesn't complete it. Don't ask me why they did it that way, but they did. It doesn't really complete it. It only shows you the first letter. It shows how it's going to look when it prints. If you want to see, if you want to, and I'm looking at it, it looks okay. Now, in order to complete this, you have to click Edit the individual letters. Remember, a moment ago it said complete the merge. It doesn't complete it until you click on this step, Edit the individual letters. Now it says, do you really want to merge them into a new document? All of them. Yeah, click OK. And there we are. There's the first letter. Second letter to Allison Snow, next letter to Maurice Johnson, and so forth. If I had 2,000 customers, I'd have 2,000 letters, each addressed to them personally, like her, with their own cabin number, with their own reservation number. Every letter is exactly the way it should be. See, different person, different cabin number, different reservation number, but the letters are all correct. Now listen, once you have clicked complete, merge them, and you have the 3 letters, it's essential that you scroll down and make sure you have 3 and that they all look correct. If they are, then you must go to File, Save As, save it wherever you want to, where you remember where you save your stuff. And I'm going to save mine back in my special files here. I'm going to put completed merged letters, and then put your name. In this case, I'm going to put Dr. Campbell. Now make sure you say completed merged letters and click Save. Now, if you do not remember to save it, once you've got the 3 letters all merged, if you don't remember to save it, you're going to have to do the entire mail merge document again, because it is the last step in the process where you complete the merge that they give you the completed 3 documents, or in the real business it'll be 3,000 documents. You must save it. That is the one that you will turn into me at the end of the word processing unit. The document that I just named, Completed Mail Merge Letters, Dr. Campbell. The one you send me will say Completed Mail Merge Letters, Joe Student, Janice Smith, whatever it may be. Okay, so that's all there is to mail merge. Good luck. If you need any help, give me a call.